you cannot walk into an interview room without communication is not only about speaking good English. Communication is about you have applied with a standard format of your resume. The ATS might not pick your profile. Whenever you're applying for a job, customize your resume every time you apply. Just look at and then look at your just see how well it aligns with the job. सस्टेन करना भी बहुत ज़रूरी है. इट्स नॉट कि आज अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल गई तो जंप कर लेते हैं, बट वो सस्टेन कितना कर पाओगे आप उसको. AI will be working as a support to work that has been going on, but that the human intelligence, the kind of empathy, that scenarios 100% cannot be replicated. For example, I'm hiring for a role of an entry level role into the valuation business. I will definitely expect that person to be very good with.
As if HR or like talent acquisition, what do you expect like from a fresher? Like what do the qualities like you see on like on the fresher, like from the fresher?
Okay, so obviously being a fresher, I'll not expect you to solve any real time, real world problem, but I will at least expect you whatever you have studied or whatever concept you have studied. Those are strong, and and I will expect you to have a proper reasoning to whatever you are saying. Whatever you are saying has to be backed up by some logic. And this, you know, it's not always that we are not, while interviewing, we don't talk much about the logical problems, I would say, which will have a definite answer, right? Most of the time, those whatever you have studied, obviously, like if I talk about a mathematical problem, obviously the answer will remain the same. Whatever concept or whatever approach you try and try to solve it, the answer would be the same for everyone, right? But if I give you a situation, if I give you a situational question, then like if I'm interviewing 10 people, all the 10 people might differ in their approach to that situation, how they want, how they will handle that situation or how they will deal with that situation. So most of the time, the interviewers are looking for those answers. How you're, what response you're giving, what is the, outcome of it, and how confident you are in that outcome. It might be right, wrong. I will not say that it has to be right or wrong, but how confidently you are backing it up with whatever data or insights you have. We will look for that confidence. We will look for that conviction. And obviously, communication plays and communication is not only about speaking good English. Communication is about how you can transfer your ideas, your thoughts into a language which the person sitting in front of you can comprehend and understand. So that's all about communication. Look, you cannot walk into an interview room without understanding for which role you are going there, without understanding whom you are meeting, without understanding the company or what's their vision, what's their, what they want to do. So whenever, it's like when you go for an interview, you have to do some research, good research, try and find out who is the person who will be taking your interview. Do some research on that person, because sometimes when when you're interacting with that person, you might say that I got inspired by your journey, that I looked at your LinkedIn profile and you have done this, you have done that, and that inspired me to take up this opportunity and appear for an interview. And I studied the company's, journey, whatever they have done, what is their vision, what that's their plan, what they want to do, and I really want to be a, contribute in that journey or learn from it. So that those sort of, when I'm seeing that, okay, now somebody has come for this interview and who is prepared, who has thought about this so much, I'll genuinely get interested in your, whatever, I'll not look at your qualification, your marks or whatever. But when you are showing me those, instances that you really want to work here because you have done so much homework, I'll, just to get impressed with your credentials and all. It's most of the time it's not about, honestly, I have never looked at anybody's marks or percentages in my entire career. I've never looked at how many marks you have, how much you have scored in your graduation or your 12th or your master's. Never. So that one thing will really stand out if you really want to, and obviously just don't appear for interviews for the sake of it. Obviously, if you, mock interviews and all are okay, but when you really want to, apply for a job or you really feel that this job is for you, you have to get it. Go with whatever you can, whatever you can do, whatever resources are available to you, just work on those things, reach out to people, understand them about that company, understand them from them about that role, what is really required in that, and go with that knowledge, with that research. You'll definitely succeed.
One last question. Like if someone is in a situation like after completing this course, like we are expecting to build our career in like investment banking, equity researcher.
Hmm.
If like someone is getting a good opportunity in like just you have mentioned like in real estate service provider company like Cushman and Wakefield. So should he like accept that opportunity or like he should continue in that field like investment banking?
First, you have to define that good opportunity for me. What means? Like better salary, better brand, in what terms? First, I would say, look, obviously, package compensation money is important, but in the initial 4 5 years of your career, if you really want to work, you shouldn't be focused too much on that. You know, I understand, that people want to quickly change their jobs or the fields just if they're getting some percentage hike, whatever that can be. But at least you'll have to spend some good amount of time in learning those, true skills, whatever, on how. Because look, what happens is when we are learning things in a classroom, it's totally different when you're doing those things in a corporate. It like your life will just change. Because a teacher might be able to give you some leeway in terms of कि, okay, if you have to submit a report, I'm giving you a half day extra. आधे दिन बाद दे देना. क्लाइंट नहीं देगा. अगर रिपोर्ट 5 बजे जानी है तो जानी है. कुछ नहीं हो सकता. So all those real time challenges in the real world will definitely, shape up how you handle those challenges and those timelines and everything. So good opportunity always doesn't mean कि अगर सामने से मेरे को कोई अपॉर्चुनिटी दे रहा है और ऑफर कर रहा है कि बॉस वी विल गिव यू 40% हाइक, just come over. I also need to understand what I'll be doing there, what I'll be learning from there, and वो अपॉर्चुनिटी कब तक सस्टेनेबल रहेगी. बिकॉज सस्टेन करना भी बहुत ज़रूरी है. इट्स नॉट कि आज अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल गई तो जंप कर लेते हैं, बट वो सस्टेन कितना कर पाओगे आप उस चीज़ को. आई यूज टू आस्क माई हायरिंग मैनेजर्स, बहुत शुरू की बात है, दे यूज टू, हम प्रोजेक्ट्स के लिए हायर करते थे एंड दे यूज टू सी कि बॉस अगर सीवी में किसी ने हर साल 1 साल बाद 1.5 साल बाद चेंजेस किए हुए हैं तो डोंट ब्रिंग दो सीवी. सो आई यूज टू बी लाइक क्यूरियस कि भाई, मतलब अगर उसने काम किया हुआ है, उसको पता है, उसने प्रोजेक्ट्स पे काम किया हो, तो आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम है. सो दे यूज टू से कि यार देखो, एक प्रोजेक्ट की लाइफ साइकिल होती है, एटलीस्ट 3 to 4 years. If somebody has not worked even on one project in their entire career from a starting to end, they have not seen all the challenges what a project will come across. Because आप हर चीज़ प्लान नहीं कर सकते, राइट. एंड अगर आप इमेजिन करो एक, यू नो 10,000 करोड़ की बिल्डिंग बन रही है, राइट, और उसके फेजेस होंगे, टाइम होगा. अब उस 10,000 करोड़ जो भी जिसका भी पैसा लग रहा है, उस बिल्डिंग में अगर एक एक कॉलम अगर वो थोड़ा सा टेढ़ा हो गया, यू नो इफ देयर इज अ, अगर यहाँ पर कोई आर्किटेक्ट बैठा है या कोई सिविल इंजीनियर है, दे विल अंडरस्टैंड कि अगर एक वो कॉलम का बाय अ स्मॉल मिलीमीटर भी अगर वो टेढ़ा हो गया, तो वो इंटायर बिल्डिंग कभी, हो सकता है या तो उसको स्क्रैप करना पड़े, उड़ाना पड़े, बिकॉज वो कभी उसको पास ही नहीं होगी वो। तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें, बहुत बड़ी बड़ी रिस्क होती हैं उसमें, वो आपको उस टाइम पे समझ नहीं आता। एंड somebody has not seen their entire life cycle might not be able to deal with those challenges, right? अगर आई रिमेम्बर, एक हमारे साइट पर एक एक्सीडेंट हो गया था। देयर वाज दिस लेबर, द पर्सन डाइड, राइट? एंड बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली होते रहते हैं इंसिडेंट्स। एंड जब इंसिडेंट होता है तो ऑब्वियसली देर देर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स विच हैपन, सडनली। पुलिस केस होगा, गवर्नमेंट का कुछ इशू होगा, बहुत सारी चीज़ें होंगी। एंड दैट प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर हु इज लीडिंग दैट प्रोजेक्ट, इफ दैट पर्सन हैज नॉट हैंडल्ड एनीथिंग सच, एनीथिंग लाइक दैट इन देयर एंटायर लाइफ, दे विल नॉट नो व्हाट टू डू इन दोज सर्कमस्टांसेस, राइट? और आप, आपके टाइमलाइंस मिस होंगे, आपके प्रोजेक्ट्स की चीज़ें मिस होंगी, एवरी डे वट एवर इज पासिंग, बिकॉज समबडी वुड हैव टेकन। अब अगर 10,000 करोड़ की बिल्डिंग तैयार करनी है तो उसके लिए बहुत सारा पैसा लोन भी लिया होगा। एवरी डे द काइंड ऑफ इंटरेस्ट दैट पर्सन इज बेयरिंग, और दैट whosoever इज वर्किंग ऑन दैट। तो वो सारी चीज़ें सोच के अगर आप चलोगे, और उस जब किसी ने देखा ही नहीं है वो सारा सिचुएशन कैसे हैंडल करेगा, so then that time that stability comes into factor, then you to see कि इस बंदे ने एक पूरा प्रोजेक्ट लाइफ साइकिल किया है, इसने ये सारी चीज़ें देखी होंगी, इसने लेबर शॉर्टेज देखा होगा, इसने ये सारी चीज़ें देखी होंगी। छठ पे, दिवाली पे जब सारे लेबर्स चले जाते हैं घर पे, तो वो कैसे उस प्रोजेक्ट को कैसे हैंडल करेगा, कहाँ से लेकर आएगा। तो ये सारी चीज़ें ना, इट कम्स विद एक्सपीरियंस, यू कैनॉट जस्ट टीच दोज थिंग्स इन अ क्लासरूम। So that's why, sorry, I brought this example and stretched it a bit, but those are real world examples, why, and that's how I got to understand कि stability क्यों जरूरी है एक CV में. Anything else? Anybody? Yeah, please.
I just wanted to know, how does an HR sees a person with career gap, and how much gap is acceptable?
Uh, Honestly, I think mindsets have changed now. कोविड से पहले थोड़ा सा hesitant होते थे लोग, but now people have opened up because of, people have seen all those things which were not there, which we never experienced. Post COVID, I think we all have experienced a lot of things, right? As professionals, as human beings, we have experienced a lot of things. So, as an HR professional, I have also seen that, and there are genuine reasons why people would want to take a break, or why they want to opt for something else and not just work actively in a corporate or anything. I think lot of international firms, lot of good firms, they are opened up to an idea of hiring people with breaks. Nobody is seeing that as an disadvantage or a concern now. I personally don't see. And how much break, uh, there's no timeline to that, honestly. If the person has been doing something relevant, or the person is still bringing up relevant skills and things and contributions to the table, I don't think that that it's a challenge.
Basically, like in that classroom, like we have 25 friends. Like everyone is like engaged in finance qualified, some are CA, some are then like CFA level one. So like here person is like just qualified is graduation. It is bit like demotivation. Just like we are sitting in an interview. If the candidates like they are more qualified or more like active, how should we deal with that situation? How should we motivate the person?
दुनिया की जितनी बड़ी कंपनियां हैं, सारी, बहुत सारी होंगी, मैं एम श्योर, बहुत सारी उन लोगों ने बनाई है जो ड्रॉप आउट, कॉलेज पूरा भी नहीं किया। तो वो उन्होंने कैसे कर लिया, मतलब उनको भी तो, वो भी हायर करते होंगे हार्वर्ड और ऑक्सफोर्ड और पता नहीं कहाँ कहाँ के आईआईएम के लोगों को। तो इट्स नॉट अबाउट दैट, वॉट एवर। लुक, आपको अगर 10% भी पता है तो वो 10% है ना, ऐसा होना चाहिए कि वो 10% और कोई नहीं कवर कर।
So question. Real estate business is much of like they don't officially give much of numbers outside. Like in capital market, almost everything is transparent. Only in some cases like hedge funds and all, they don't give much of the transparency. But in real estate, we find that more of the things are done under the table, kind of like they are behind the curtain things are going on. Within that, real estate market is bigger or capital market is kind of a bigger, which one is the more competitive space?
Look, when you say capital markets, obviously capital markets covers a lot of things. Um, it is for every industry. When we say project financing or we say, structuring the deals, that deal could be anything. Like it could be a merger or acquisition or a JV or a JD, right? Whatever. So capital markets much bigger space. Obviously, real capital markets plays an important role in real estate because it involves a lot of financing, a lot of work into finances. Real estate within capital markets within real estate would be obviously a small thing, but capital markets in its whole thing, it's huge because every sector, every business needs that core finance, capabilities.
My question is more specific to what, as a fresher in finance, as well as I have a very keen interest in marketing. So, what, as a fresher, I can expect of the roles and responsibilities in Cushman and Wakefield? And I wanted to know, as someone who is not related to real estate, and I honestly don't have much idea about how to go about it as a fresher if I want to start my career with real estate. So I just want to get an idea about how roles and job profiles are there for us.
Look, so for somebody with a finance background, and you said you have a keen interest in marketing as well. So finance in real estate in all the functions is very important. I can tell you that because understanding of finance, because we are working for our clients, our investors, and helping them to grow their investments or getting the best of the value out of their investments, whatever they are putting in, either a building or a land, because we are serving the tenants, we are serving the landlord, we are serving the fund houses who are, investing their money in any real estate asset. So the knowledge, finance knowledge will really help. And as marketing or sales or, that sort of an interest will really help you in connecting with those clients because at the end of the day, tomorrow when you grow, when you learn the basics of that business, you will be selling something, some services, right? Whether it's a valuation service, whether it's capital market, you will be going out, talking to clients, understanding what they need, what and then explaining them what are the best solutions you can work around for them, right? Then they will choose amongst, say there are 5 consultants sitting in front of them, how they will choose that this is the best person whom I can entrust with, a lot of money to put in or place in some asset which will give me the maximum returns. So that one, obviously your knowledge, your understanding of the subject. Second is how, you know, all those sales and everything, those skill sets comes into picture, like how you're building up your client relationships, how you're engaging them with in terms of what you are telling them what is right for them. So all those things combine, and it's because you will understand it when you have spent some time in that corporate world. But to start with, any opportunity, any role you can get into, whether it's and depends where do you want to go. You want to start your career into valuations and then move into capital markets, or you want to go and do some transactions. All those skill sets will be necessary for that.
Are they very strict about hiring for a job description and that they are very rigid about it?
So there could be few things which will be 100% necessary for that, for that for you to perform that job. If, say, for example, I'm hiring for a role of an entry level role into the valuation business, I will definitely expect that person to be very good with Excel, very good with, some, because obviously we don't expect, because you are learning financial modeling, but we don't expect somebody from passing out from a college that the person would understand financial. But they should be very good with Excel. They should be very good with some financial terminologies. That's the basics that we expect. Obviously, if that's not there, all everything doesn't work out. If that's there, some of the things might get overlooked.
So,
Yeah.
so let's say I want to get into valuations,
but my previous experience doesn't directly align with values. Maybe doesn't matter. Sorry. Doesn't matter. So I wanted to understand the psychology, how likely it is not about the interview, it is about the resume getting picked itself. How skeptical would you be? Is it like 50-50 or 10-90? Just wanted to understand the psychology.
Very, very good question, I would say, because and why I'm saying this, because nowadays most of the companies have and in times to come they will have all these AI driven or the ATS or the systems where you've applied and the application might not even get picked up for the role. And what happens is that so the so we have a tool, the RATS. What happens is there, I'll give you the background of it so that you understand. So say for example, I have posted a job. There's a JD. There are certain skill sets, certain keywords mentioned in that JD. You have applied with a standard format of your resume. The ATS might not pick your profile and will suggest a recruiter from my team that this person looks to be like an 80%, 90% match for this job. And why I'm saying this, because we have an AI capability inbuilt on our ATS, which tells us, like, because in India, whenever you post a job, within 2 days, you'll get at least 500 to 600 applicants, right? So each recruiter cannot go across those, 500, 600 resumes and pick up the best. So this work is getting done, and obviously tomorrow it will get more and more refined when we'll have to rely on the technology, right, to support us on in taking those decisions at which profile we need to screen. So if that system is not picking up all those keywords and the profile is not coming to me, that profile doesn't lie anywhere, then you have lost the opportunity. So just don't depend on one standard resume. Whenever you're applying for a job, just look at the JD and then look at your profile. Just see how well it aligns with the job. If not, put in some keywords, pick up some keywords from the JD and put some keywords in that resume, then apply. Just don't, that you have seen a job on your phone on LinkedIn, and you just click the apply button, it will not work. Customize your resume every time you apply.
So like you said, AI will be taking over many things. And for big companies, they can also make their own AI software, like some kind of chat GPT. So they can easily use those to prepare some valuations and models also. So how do you look for the future about these roles in valuations and modelings and all for the entry level people? Because AI can easily make those in 5-10 minutes if we give them proper prompts, because they can easily calculate data and all. They have everything.
Honestly, I'm not an AI expert. Because I've also started understanding it now, and I might be behind most of you in those concepts or that understanding, honestly. But yeah, you're right. Obviously, these things will get shifted to some automated technology, whatever we call it, because these are like anybody can replicate it. But how and the system can obviously give out you trends and various scenarios, what could happen, what could not happen, basis various scenarios. But at times, what I feel, and I might be wrong, that AI will be, working as a support to whatever, work that has been going on. But that the human intelligence, the kind of empathy or the kind of, understanding of the experience, what might go wrong, that scenarios 100% cannot be replicated. That's why, I think obviously AI will take on these basic jobs and all those things, but reading a financial model and understanding it thoroughly and considering the environment or the scenarios or the circumstances might be difficult for an AI, because AI will not understand. Say for example, if I ask you to build a financial model for a big investment happening in Jaipur or in Gurgaon. So there will be a lot of difference in terms of demography, in terms of, and on, okay, AI, I understand it will pick up all that data from कि वहाँ की demography क्या है, वहाँ के लोग कैसे हैं, क्या है, but cultural understanding might not be there. there could be a lot of things which the AI might not understand. And again, we can't say it because it's just evolving. कल को हो सकता है वो भी हो जाए. But right now तो अभी मेरी की understanding इतनी है. Tomorrow we don't know what happens.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Valuable time. So I hope we must have enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you everyone.